to Good Morning Sri Lanka. To those of you who are just joining us, we are discussing stress and how to de-stress is what we're going to just touch upon. And to reintroduce our guests to you who just joined us, it's Dr. Jayasinghe and Dr. Prematilaka who are here with us, who are going to tell us all about how to de-stress ourselves, and who have been actually defining stress and really clarifying a lot of things for us.
Well, definitely, Sam. We've been talking a lot about it, but I think one important area which we need to stress on is not stress on, but actually get on, is how to really manage stress.
Yes.
So let's talk to our doctors about it. Doctors?
Yeah, I think before we come to the management, what I feel is that most of the people are frightened now, because what we were discussing earlier, that means you can be killed by the stress also. So it's not so bad, so don't be stressed about that as a result of this. But what I feel is that somehow the people have sort of found several ways by themselves to manage their stress. Sometimes some of them may be good, some of them may not be very good. I think what I feel is in Sri Lanka, or not only in Sri Lanka, even other countries, most of the people use this alcohol, tobacco, drugs as stress relievers. You can see that now people, when they are people who smoke, when they are under stress, now they smoke sort of very, very heavily. One good example is, they say, when the wife is in the labor room, the husband is outside, you can see continuously sort of smoking, things like that. And so what we want to find out is to say how to manage this stress. I think before managing the stress, we have to say how to prevent stress. So as we said earlier, the same stressor, for the same stressor, the different individuals may have different reactions. So rather than changing the world, it's better to change ourselves. So this is a very good example, I think, what we have to say, because now a lot of people nowadays, they try to change the world without changing themselves. But I think this is the reason for the stress also, basically, because we want to control the world, and then as long as we can control it, it's okay. The moment we can't, then we get stressed. So, but you know, at the end, we are going to lose the fight anyway. But anyway, so what we should do is to learn to avoid it. So how to avoid stress is again not so easy, but this is coming, say, I think one reason why we get this is we have too many expectations, especially now. The more expectations you have, the more stress you have. If you can cut down the expectations. Now, I'm not asking you not to have expectations at all. Now, for instance, when you go for an exam, if you think that I must somehow or other get, say, so many D's or whatever it is, so that's a very high goal level of. If you are, so even if you just pass, then you are not happy, then you are still under stress. But on the other hand, if you say, right, doesn't matter, if I pass, it's good, even otherwise it's okay.
Dr. Jayasinghe, if I'm to ask you, what are your thoughts in terms of preventing stress? How do you do it really?
Yes, now there are various stress management techniques that we can use. I think the best way to prevent stress is to cope with the stress. Sometimes there are some stressors which we can't prevent. We can't really prevent them. We can't run away from them. We have to face them. So I think the important thing is how we cope with the stress. So there are various coping methods. I think people need to learn and improve on the coping skills to deal with these stressors. And there are so many different coping skills. Now one method is, one of the best methods is to use relaxation techniques. So that's a very good method to deal with stressors, to be more relaxed, calm, to look at it from a more calm and relaxed point of view. And for relaxation, there are various exercises you can do. Meditation is very helpful. Yoga can be very helpful, and even doing exercise, physical exercise, like it can be aerobic exercise, going to a gym, using an exercise machine at home. Even these things actually really help you to cope with day-to-day stressors, cope with major life stressors, and change always causes stress. Changes.
Doctor, how does exercise really play a role in like de-stressing someone, because it's recommended so widely?
Yes.
How does it like play a role?
Well, exercise actually helps to balance hormone levels.
Okay.
It also helps you to detoxify the body, to drain out toxic chemicals that have accumulated in the body over a period of time due to the stress reaction that we have whenever we face stressful situations. So exercise is also good not only for the body, it's good for the brain, for your mind. So exercise helps you to be more focused, relaxed. It helps you to see things from a better perspective.
Okay.
So it's good for our mental health as well as for the physical health.
I have another question, Dr. Prem Tilaka. Now, when you have stress management, there is a sort of philosophy among young people that you have to work hard and you have to play hard. Does that apply as well? You know, they work very hard, and then, like you were mentioning earlier, alcohol and nicotine is widely used to sort of de-stress, and you have people going out having very late nights. There's a lot of music involved. Does that balance the two out?
Yeah, I think that's what they are trying it, but that's not the correct method. I think the reason why they are doing so much is because of this, again, the very important reason in the present society for stress is competition. Nowadays you find everything is competition, right? I mean, business, studies, even exams or stuff, whatever it is, become very, and this competition, really we should have competition, but what we have now is what is called unhealthy competition. So that creates a lot of stress. So that's what I am saying now. Earlier I said about expectations. So competition means too much expectations anyway. So, but unfortunately nowadays our life is life has been arranged in such a way that we have to face competition. Even if we know it is bad, we can't avoid it. So that is the reason why they have too much. Now, in fact, what we call exercise or meditation, so we are going away from that. So then we are relaxing. So that's what we need. And then I think that's an important point now. Say, what is bad really is this: if we have the stress for a prolonged time. So if we can have an interval or a break, so that is very good. In fact, that is why I think the society is made in such a way that we have the week and the weekend, as you originally suggested. Now, when we have the weekend, we are different. And also now, I think maybe say the change of a month, sort of once a month there's a change. So as you said, sometimes the change can be stressful, but on the other hand, when you have stress, the change is very important.
I see, Doctor. On that same topic, we have a video at GMSL which we'd like to show our viewers also, and it's all about how exercise can help. So check it out.
We all know that exercise can help out with our weight and our strength and our endurance and our flexibility. But how much do you know about the effects of exercise on the mind? Physically, the benefits of exercise are pretty obvious. And the American College of Sports Medicine recommends 30 minutes of moderate physical activity per day. The Surgeon General, well, he agrees. It'll keep your heart healthy, your weight down, and all systems go! But the psychological benefits of exercise are actually just as compelling. Physically active people show significantly fewer symptoms of depression than sedentary people. A study done by doctors at the University of Texas Medical Center found that people who exercise 30 minutes per day were almost half as likely to be depressed as people who did not. Exercise also releases endorphins to the brain, creating a sense of well-being. It makes people high on wellness, and it's natural, legal, and it won't give you the munchies. Along with it getting you awesomely pumped up on endorphins, exercise increases alpha wave activity to the brain. That's the kind of brainwave that helps you clear your mind and focus. But now, we've come to a roadblock. To a lot of people, exercise is boring. You don't like getting sweaty. It's uncomfortable. It's not fun. You don't have time. The list goes on. But that's why we're here, and we're going to get you into a brain-clearing, focus-building exercise routine that won't seem too daunting to start. And we're going to get your brain to realize why exercise is essential. First, set aside 30 minutes to work out. That's right. Put on that workout gear of choice, crank up your music, get your heart rate up, get sweaty, dance around if you need to, do jumping jacks, jog in place, take a break to do a few sit-ups. Nothing too intimidating though, okay? And after 30 minutes, write about how you felt during the workout. No, not how your body felt. Focus on your mind. Did you have trouble starting? How did you feel in the middle of the workout? At the end? Now, try doing this every day for 1 week. That's right. Pump iron, run in place, do sit-ups, do those jumping jacks for 30 minutes every day. At the end of the week, write down how your mood has changed within that period. The brain recognizes success when it sees it, which means the better you feel emotionally after working out, the more likely you are to do it on a semi-regular basis. And then you'll reap all those other physical benefits too.
So Sam, how about you? Are you going to try
30
the
minutes.
exercise routine for 30 minutes?
Definitely. Doctor, just before we go into the video, we'd like to ask you to tell us a little bit about what acute and chronic stress is, because we touched on chronic stress, but
Yes.
what is the definition of the two?
Yes, now acute stress is a short-term stress which is very intense.
Okay.
It's not long-term. Now chronic is long-term. And acute stress can be a reaction that you have to a very dangerous or a very frightening event, or let's say, for example, if you witness an accident, or for example if you are part of an accident, that kind of traumatic incident would result in an acute stress reaction. Okay. And an acute stress reaction also causes a lot of problems in the immediate term, and it can also go into our unconscious memories and then cause problems in the long term.
Okay.
That means health problems, both psychological and even physical health problems. So that is the difference between an acute reaction and a chronic stress reaction.
How would you deal with acute stress? Because especially if it's like an unforeseen event,
Yes.
what is the best way to handle acute
Yes.
stress?
Now one method is through counseling.
Okay.
So we can provide
But this
counseling.
is post the stressful
Yes,
situation.
after the
Okay.
stressful situation. There might not be much that you can do during the stressful situation.
I see.
Yes, because the situation might be beyond our control. We might not be able to take any action at that time. But after the stressful situation, counseling will definitely help. And sometimes, for some cases, hypnotherapy might be useful. It's a form of psychotherapy where you try to get some material that has been stored or repressed in the unconscious mind or unconscious memories. So you try to get that out from them, and that can be very relieving for the patient or the client. It can be a process of emotional release, and it can be very stress releasing for the client. So there are techniques like that.
I see. Well, on that note, we need to go in for a short commercial break, but after we do come back, lots about stress management and stress in the work environment. We've got a lot to discuss about that, so don't go away. We'll be right back just after this short break.